Hi everybody, welcome to the session. My name is Terry Walby, co-founder and chief executive of OpenDialog, and in this session we're going to be talking about what's next. We'll be covering an introduction to OpenDialog, what's happening in AI and what does that mean for your industry, what's coming next, and then introducing Proxima, the new version of OpenDialog. I'm joined today by some very esteemed speakers. As I've already mentioned, my name is Terry Walby. The marketing team have very kindly referred to me as an award-winning technology entrepreneur. But I guess the important point is I've been working in technology transformation for enterprise businesses for my entire career and for the last 15 years in the field of automation. And I'll hopefully bring that experience to bear in the execution of OpenDialog. I'm joined by Dr. Ron Ashry, an esteemed author, visionary, and the architect of the OpenDialog platform. And also by Micah Coppens, VP of Product at OpenDialog, another author actually, so I'm in the minority on this panel, but a recognised expert in conversational AI. Together we bring a wealth of experience. I'm a firm believer there's a time for humility. This isn't it. We bring a wealth of experience, understanding and expertise to the field of conversational AI, and we've brought all of that to bear in what we've created at OpenDialog. So, what's the vision? I genuinely believe we're at an internet moment of technological change. The emergence of generative AI is a generational moment. It's a wave of technology change that's going to change the way we live, the things that we do in the workplace and the things we do at home forevermore. It's a fantastic opportunity for those that are positioned to capitalise on it. Our belief is that conversational AI will turn the world of interaction between humans and technology on its head. We'll transition from a world where a human needs to understand how technology works, to learn how to drive an application, to learn how to navigate a website, to learn how to get the thing done that they want to get done. We'll transition from that where the technology's job is to understand you, for you to converse in natural language through voice, through text, through messaging, through web interfaces, and the technology will understand you and meet your needs. From the home to the workplace, you'll converse with technology, you'll converse with your devices, you'll converse with your appliances, you'll converse with your machines. And in your interaction with businesses, your expectation will be that you have a hyper-personalized, digital, conversational experience. As a result, the contact center as we know it is going to cease to exist. And that's because 9 out of 10 of customer service interactions will be automated through conversation. A little bit about OpenDialog. So who are we and where are we going? Our mission is to change the world through the application of our conversational technology, to increase businesses' productivity, to improve performance, be it revenue growth, efficiency, effectiveness, reaching more customers, serving a broader audience, managing a greater time frame of deliverables, and to enhance customer experiences by automating complex business processes and activities. Our mission is to transform the way organizations interact with their communities, their customers, to democratize the application and use of advanced and generative AI for regulated industries, to allow them to take advantage of some of the fantastic benefits that can be delivered, but to do so in a safe, controllable, governed way. To disrupt, empower, enhance and adapt the world of customer interaction, of customer support and service delivery. Our mission is to be the platform that allows organisations to deliver the 9 out of 10. And don't just take our word for it, it's working. One of our customers in the insurance marketplace is automating 9 out of every 10 customer interactions today. The Cyber Helpline, a charity customer of ours, is automating 83% of customer interactions, saving them the work of 192 people. And VRG, a customer in the insurance group, within 10 days of go live, is seeing 78% of interactions with customers being automated and a 25% increase in upsell. We're also very proud to have just been recognised at the UK IT Industry Awards, sponsored by BCS and Computing Magazine, as the Emerging Technology of the Year 2023, a testament to the product that we've built, the roadmap that we've developed, and the team that we've formed. A team which in the last 18 months has grown 4.5-fold, a demonstration of the growth that we're achieving. The Open Dialog platform is an engine, a conversational engine designed to allow people to design, build, run, manage, and then scale conversational experiences in any language. It's disaggregated from the language models that power the understanding of natural language, and it's served through multimodal channels to allow organisations to exploit it. And critically, its integration into your back-end business systems mean it can execute tasks, not just answer questions. And you'll see more of the platform shortly. But as I said, don't just take our word for it. We're going to hear now from a couple of our customers about their experiences of working with OpenDialog.
I'm Anthony Fletcher, so I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Vehicle Replacement Group, otherwise known as VRG, and we are part of the Davis Group. I've been working with chatbots or traditional chatbots within Vehicle Replacement Group for over 3 years now. And effectively, we reached a plateau with the success rates for the chatbots. And it's always about pushing the boundaries to basically find a better solution or an increased percentage in terms of a success rate. So when I heard about AI with regards to OpenDialog and the potential of turning a flat, yes and no based chatbot into a conversational piece, I was very intrigued. Our current process involved the collection of hire vehicles from customers once they'd received their own repaired vehicle back again. So effectively, what we would do, we would send a chatbot out to the customer to basically say, we've been told we need to collect your vehicle tomorrow. Is this convenient? Only 63% of our customers were actually successfully off-hired as a result of going through the standard chatbot. We've now already increased that amount up to 82% in terms of successful conversations that are taking place through the AI chatbot. So we've gone from a position of, not only recognizing when it's not convenient to a customer, we can actually then converse through the bot to then find an amicable solution. The benefit case for this particular project has been sort of looked at in 3 different ways. One, you've got the potential reduction in FTE that would be available as a result of the bot actually having the conversation rather than VRG staff. Second one is basically we now have much more dialogue with the customer where we can openly offer the potential for them to pay for extra hire days themselves rather than it being obviously allocated by their insurer or their accident management company. In the month, we only had 2 weeks in November, we've already seen almost £4,000 in terms of additional payments supplied by customers to retain the hire vehicles. And the third benefit is basically down to the fact that obviously we are quicker in terms of our confirmation with regards to the customer accepting the vehicle being off-hired. So it tidies up our invoicing process with our hire partners and our customers, and is actually leading to associated savings. I'm not your traditional chief operating officer because I'm a program and project manager at heart. I've managed many projects over the years, so ultimately I've got a good idea in terms of what a good project team looks and feels like. And it's very easy to say that OpenDialog's team are top draw. Right from the word go, my expectations were managed. I've had regular updates, both from the development side, the reporting side, and also obviously, the future aspects in terms of where this particular product can go to. So it's been an absolute pleasure. In terms of VRG and obviously the motor insurance industry right now, I think conversational AI could play a massive part within the third-party capture process. Yes, third-party capture is a sell, which is often done verbally today between a handler and the customer. But ultimately, the main aspects of the conversation, the sell, are all there and could easily be put into a framework and managed around that particular process. The main thing for me, which excites me about this potential, is this can become a massive marketing tool for insurers out in the market, because effectively you've got a customer there who's a potential for you going forward. So your customer has hit somebody, the at-fault customer then becomes your customer because of the excellence and the level of service that they received during their experience in the claim process. So I think this is where, ultimately this could be a massive opportunity for OpenDialog and VRG and the insurance industry to actually turn the corner.
Hi, yeah, my name is Sally Child, and I'm a senior project manager working within our outpatients, central outpatients within Leeds teaching hospitals. We ultimately want to provide patients with gold standard care, whether they're attending outpatients or coming in for an operation or attending A&E or tests. So part of that patient journey, we look at all the time within the trust and look at all the elements where we can improve. Obviously, financial restraints hold some of that back, so we do have to look at different ways of doing things. I think offering this type of technology to patients that struggle to hear on the telephone, that find it difficult using a telephone, it's a very quick and easy way to contact and connect with the trust. I think it's branching out to all our patients with different disabilities, different languages, and to make sure it's accessible, we're more accessible to them. I think it's the friendly approach, so the appearance of it. It's not you're filling a form in. It's not the standard you fill in a form, and it is almost as though you are speaking to a human. And so there's that approach there that's not as threatening as filling and completing a form in. It's more of a two-way conversation. I know digital's not for everybody, and we appreciate that. So does a lot of healthcare. So it's just providing our patients with different opportunities and experiences that also allow our teams within the trust to become more efficient. And so if you can, for example, update your details, patient details, moved address, using this technology, that will then free up the telephones for patients that have got questions and they need a person to be having that discussion with. So I think the technology that I've seen so far, we could expand in areas of the trust. So I think that's really what I see at this moment in time.
Hello, my name's Rob Child. I'm a programme manager in the outpatient clinical service unit here at Leeds Teaching Hospital. So what I support this service with is their sort of digital aspirations and their digital deliveries. At the minute, 99% of our conversations or interactions with patients is over the telephone. When we saw the conversational AI, you kind of think this is a real opportunity. We kind of refer it, along the lines of chatbots, really, because people know what chatbots are, but we say it's, kind of almost like chatbots on steroids, as I can put it. And because you're having a conversation as well, you can structure it better about the information that you're capturing, and you can ask other questions at the same time. And then obviously you can monitor what questions people are asking as well. So you can kind of go, there's people always asking about this stuff. So maybe we need to do something around that. So we'll see how much we can shift over. And it won't be for everyone. And we know that. We'd never take away the phone lines. Do you know what I mean? We want to actually create a better experience on the phones for patients. So not waiting, 20, 30 minutes in a queue, all those kind of things. It's just another tool in the toolbox. In terms of a supplier, you've been absolutely fantastic. I think from the moment that we've started, I think it's been brilliant, really. So you've worked really fast. You've built some stuff really well. Danny built stuff like instantly to share with us, to sort of say this is the sort of thing. It was not the final product, but showing us what the art of the possible. I think the opportunities are vast.
Okay. Thanks, Ant. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Sally, for those kind words. So my question for you in the audience, are you ready? I'm going to hand over now to Dr. Ron Ashry. Ron.
Thanks, Harry. Okay, so what we're going to do next is have a look at what is going on in the world of AI, and there is a lot going on. Talk about what that means for your business, and talk about how OpenDialog starts to solve some of the challenges that the technology gives us. So what is going on? A lot. It's really interesting to reflect on giving an AI update in 2023 and having done that in the past years. And in the past years, you were genuinely giving new information that people will not come across because it happened in more obscure places. But these days, AI news is mainstream news, right? It's front page news. So we've all been enthralled by the goings on at OpenAI with their board changes and losing a CEO and then regaining them quite quickly. And it speaks to both the importance of the technology and the young age of the governance around these technologies. In the UK, a few weeks ago, there was the AI Safety Summit, talking about how we can better regulate AI. The Biden administration in the US have released their AI executive order, very hefty document that talks in some depth about all aspects of how we can start regulating AI. And the EU has recently released an updated set of documents and recommendations around what to do, right? So what does this all mean? You can spend an endless amount of time analyzing the detail of it, but let's just look at a high level of what this actually means. So the first thing that it says is that AI has crossed that threshold, has met that requirement, is reaching that internet moment, right? It is general purpose technology, in the same way that the steam engine, electricity, the internet are general purpose technology. So it's going to impact how we work, how we function as a society, and how we're going to tackle the challenges of the future. And for me, that last bit is the most interesting, right? The scale of problems that we need to solve, whether it's in health, in education, and so on, are not going to be solved just by human power. We need technology, and AI is a fundamental part of this. The second thing that is happening and why we're seeing all this activity is that the speed of growth is exponential. It's not a technology that's arrived and that's it, right? It was going to keep changing. It will keep surprising us. It will keep surprising us at the core capability of it. So if you think of large language models, there's more to come. And also in the way that those large language models interact with other systems to solve problems. Now, while it is absolutely true that there are challenges around safety and trust and fairness, it is also true, and it's a necessity, I would say, to take advantage of the technology today. Now, in order to do that, you need the right catalyst. You need the right infrastructure around this technology to enable you to take advantage of it. And just as a point of comparison, right? If you think of the steam engine, well, that's very exciting technology, but it wouldn't have worked as well if we hadn't built the train tracks and the train stations and all that infrastructure around it. Same thing with electricity. You actually need the wires and the generating stations and then the plugs in our homes and all of that technology to help you really take advantage of electricity. So those are the catalyst technologies that turn some raw capability into something that's actually useful. Now, what's coming next? I think at this point it's pretty clear, and we have. And I'm a person that does not enjoy hyperbole, but we are entering a new age. It is a time where we can expect AI to solve complex problems in a personalized way, and it's going to be available on demand. And absolutely, in 3 years, we will be looking at the automation of 9 out of 10 tasks when it comes to customer interaction. Now, the thing that is very interesting for organizations that start on this journey is that they benefit from what I call this AI automation cycle, right? So if you imagine your organization at this point has some information, some data, some knowledge, and then you apply that to introduce automation through conversation in your organization, the immediate benefits that you'll get will be an improved customer experience. You're going to reduce costs. You're going to be able to scale because this technology is always on demand. The thing that is often missed, though, is through this automation process and through the tooling that comes with it and the rigor that comes with it, you're going to get much better data. And that data will feed back into your processes, and it's going to start producing new business models. And that's a real transformational thing, right? We've seen this with our clients where, yes, they introduce automation and they start achieving those wonderful numbers of 80% and so on automation. But a few weeks or a few months later, they realize, oh, and we're actually selling more. And we think there is a new way we can sell because now that we can scale, we can imagine more sophisticated models of how we do business. And that's where the real change comes, right? So what we're going to see is an increasing divide between organizations that are able to scale conversations through automation and will start introducing new business models, and those that don't. And with early days or early years of the internet, we were talking about the digital divide, right? The split between the people that were able to get online and take advantage of those technologies and those that don't. And now we're going to see an automation divide, a conversational AI divide, a generative AI divide as we see the difference between organizations that take advantage of the technology and those that don't. So, what happens next in generative AI? This is where I'm going to get myself in trouble, right? Because predictions are always risky. However, we're here to have fun, so let's go. The first one is actually quite easy because we've seen it already and we see it constantly. Costs will keep coming down. One of the big concerns for organizations were that technologies like GPT-4 and so on were quite expensive, and if you imagined running all your customer conversations through these types of technologies, it would get maybe too expensive, not necessarily, but certainly not what we're used to paying. But we see costs keep coming down, and that's a natural function of the scale that it's achieving and improvements in performance and computing efficiency and so on. And at the same time, those context windows, those spaces where we enter our prompts and things like enterprise knowledge and so on will keep growing. So there will be more that we will be able to reason about. Now, what's interesting, and where I'm really getting in trouble, is I think it's unlikely that we're going to see a step change in the core large language model capability, right? So there's a lot of talk around artificial general intelligence. I don't think LLMs as they stand today are the path to it. They're certainly a stepping stone, but we're not going to see big changes. We're going to need new architectures to be introduced for much bigger changes. What we are going to see is taking much better advantage of what we can't do. So things like multimodality, where you're interacting with text, with images. We're starting to see some very interesting things around video. And I think we're going to start seeing some basic reasoning capabilities. So large language models are notoriously bad at math. We might start seeing that becoming a bit better. But it's going to be because of clever engineering and architecture on top of core large language model capability. Where there is real space for advancement is in this new field of prompt engineering and fine-tuning and thinking about how smaller models or specialist models can complement the more generalist models like GPT-4. What we're also going to see is more and more ways to break LLMs, right? More and more ways to get them to behave in ways that was unexpected. And that's inevitable when you're dealing with such new technology, and technology that is uniquely different in how opaque it can be and how hard it can be to explain its functionality. Now, from an open dialogue perspective, I wanted to talk about our long-term view for safe and trusted conversational AI, right? So we have these technologies that are amazing, that can do very interesting things. They are general purpose technologies. I view open dialogue as that catalyst that enables you to take these technologies and safely use them within the enterprise. We believe that on their own, whether it's large language models or other data-driven neural networks, are not going to be able to fully learn conversations. And by conversations, I mean multi-step conversations where you're solving real problems, conversations that have a specific goal, a specific purpose, and need to get a user from a start to the end to solve a problem, and not just chat, which is something that LLMs do quite well. In fact, there's some recent research from Microsoft that says that the accuracy of LLMs in multi-step tasks is around 6%. Right, so that's a good indication of how difficult those multi-step conversations are for LLMs. Now, at the same time, conversational applications with multiple steps and all the richness of conversation is not something that can easily be designed by humans. I think the complexity is such that you can pretty much say they cannot be designed by humans. But you do need humans. You do need those conversation designers, those people that understand the user, understand the problem, and are able to guide the design. So the search that we do as open dialogue, and the sweet spot that we are looking for, is that place where the interaction between human input and conversation design, generative AI, and explicit reasoning comes together, right? So you're able to get the best of all approaches. You have a human-first approach in terms of determining the value of what you are producing and giving the right sort of direction. You have explicit reasoning so that you can ensure that rules and regulations are adhered to. And you're taking advantage of all the other technologies in order to deal with the richness of language and human behavior. So why should you consider open dialogue? Very quickly, and we'll see much more of this in our demo, the ability to orchestrate natural language processing and all the ways we used to do natural language processing, knowledge graph capability, large language model capabilities within a single application. Imagine open dialogue as this harness on top of all this capability where you can bring in your business level contextual reasoning. As Terry mentioned, easy to integrate with enterprise data, all through a no-code platform, and with a set of analytics capability, and this is something that we spend quite a bit of time on, that gives you a very, very rich set of data around what happens at each step, and a very clear audit path of what were the different decision steps in your conversation and why were those steps taken. So let me just talk with a bit more specific information on the exact problems that we're solving when it comes to combining large language models and business needs, right? So at top level, we have a business need such as accompanying and guiding the user that is pursuing a broad goal, like they're trying to do an insurance claim, for example. That's multiple steps, heavily regulated. And on the other hand, you have a large language model that's, first of all, unable to manage business context over multiple goals and steps, and it's unable to take the initiative, right? You cannot give it that clear goal and that clear sense of when that goal was achieved. So the way we solve this with open dialogue is through the open dialogue model of describing conversational applications that gives you this high-level contextual business harness, right? There's this catalyst that stands between your need and generative AI capabilities. And the second problem I'll talk about is safety and explainability, right? Now, LLMs remain black boxes. There is lots of interesting work happening around trying to explain what exactly happens within the box. But with OpenDialog, we take a much more practical approach to solving the problem, which is how can we, while using this capability, how can we put appropriate gates and constraints around it, so even if the core capability is a black box, the way it expresses decisions and the way we use it to interact with our users is explainable, right? And this is probably something that is worth seeing and experiencing in terms of how OpenDialog does it in order to understand the detail. But at a higher level, it essentially is based on reducing what the LLM does to very specific points in the conversation where it's absolutely requiring and putting that business level reasoning around it before anything gets to the user, right? So a lot of the risks of the LLM saying something unexpected are simply removed out of the way because the LLM never directly interacts with the user. The interaction is always mediated through the OpenDialog model. So if you imagine the flow of user input and application output within OpenDialog, it uses large language models throughout, but it's always mediated by the OpenDialog model in the middle. Okay, now I'm really excited to hand over to Micah. That's going to talk to us about OpenDialog Proxima and all the great work we've been doing to make complex business processes easy to automate through conversation.
Are you ready?
So at OpenDialog, we focus at bringing it all together. Bringing customers and companies together, bringing technology, conversation design together, and most importantly, to create that connection between capabilities like generative AI, integrations, other NLU models, and conversation design, all in a single platform. But more than just words, let's just have a look at a well-known process in the insurance industry, which is claims handling, through a demo that demonstrates the outcome of using OpenDialog as a tool to kickstart your journey into conversational transformation.
OpenDialog Proxima sets out to help our customers build these best-in-class experiences for their users faster and easier. From idea to implementation, determining use cases to launch, we wanted to give our customers the opportunity to kickstart their conversational transformation quickly and easily through, well, a conversation. Our dialogue composer will allow our customers to describe their use case and the goal of their conversational application in natural language, thus significantly reducing their time to value. Let's look at describing a claims journey for an insurance company, for example. By hitting Generate Sample Dialogues, leveraging generative AI, our tool will give you an example set of a conversation between a conversational application and a user. Once you are happy with the provided outcome, you'll be able to kickstart your OpenDialog model in one click from this example.
Now let's look at the outcomes that OpenDialog Proxima will help you drive. I need to make a claim. I got hit in the rear by another car. I need to speak to someone. No, it's fine. It's just a car. But I also don't know what to do with this claim process. Our web chat's text-to-speech feature allows your customers to interact on their terms, through text or through their voices. Thanks to a human handover component and an integration with a live chat system, you can accommodate for a human in the loop when needed, whether it is to reassure your customers or redirect them to complete the business process more seamlessly with the virtual assistant, automating your processes, all while facilitating them. In a world where seamless experiences are the norm, you need to personalize the customer journey, taking into account both your users' predictable and unpredictable behaviors and questions. In this example, our user has some difficulties understanding the terminology and documents required to continue the process. If you were to use only organization-specific logic here, the journey would break. By combining organizational knowledge and contextual language understanding, OpenDialog's methodology allows you to solve user queries in context while not losing sight of the task at hand. As studies by the Nielsen-Norman Group, world leaders in research-based user experience confirmed, an interface that accepts only text input can be quite challenging for users. Users find it hard to overcome the cognitive effort of formulating their questions in a way that correctly represents what they want, resulting in answers that might be off-topic entirely. In addition, users find it jarring to provide substantial typing effort to provide long, detailed descriptions. As shown through this example, be it the ability to quickly upload and confirm information from a document, or the ability to pick a date for an expert to come by and examine a car, easily pinpoint the location of the accident or a car, combining the appropriate UI components and the OpenDialog conversation design capabilities significantly accelerates your business process journeys by reducing processing steps. That is why OpenDialog Proxima's new web chat feature comes packed with a rich suite of conversational UI components so you can make the user's job much easier. This rich suite of components allows you to create a truly hybrid interface for your users, but also to mix and match the best of a conversational experience with the best of well-known interface patterns. And just like that, hours of time, resources, and pointless back and forths to settle a claim solved by taking a conversational approach with the right interface components and conversational structure. But is it really that simple? With OpenDialog Proxima's proactive notification capabilities across channels, you can rest assured that your customers will be engaged and informed throughout the process. But that's not all there is to regulated processes, as we all know. We are well aware of the regulatory requirements and controls that come with operating regulated businesses. That is why OpenDialog Proxima introduces specific in-chat e-signature and approval capabilities to allow you to meet regulatory controls and accomplish an end-to-end process. We're truly bringing it all together through a single, automated point of contact for your users, thus making conversational automation a significant driver of cost reduction and revenue creation throughout your different regulated business processes. So that was it. I hope you really see the value in not only using OpenDialog to start your journey, but actually to start the journey. As Ron referenced earlier, we're seeing an increasing divide in between those companies that do leverage conversational AI and those that will be running after the train. And it's actually quite interesting in that not so long ago, we were feeling like, oh, we're constantly having to convince people that conversational AI is a thing as professionals. And now it's almost the other way around. It's this aha moment of saying, well, we need to do conversational AI, but how do we do it meaningfully? And it's always almost as if we've done it on purpose, that the OpenDialog AI platform kind of increases its capability and was ready to be this harness, this context framework for things like generative AI to be used in regulated industries. And so what you've just seen, just to kind of recap, to make it really clear what you can do and the features that we've worked on for this new version, so Proxima, what you've seen is the capability to manage your language models within OpenDialog, so no need to do anything else anywhere else. It is all managed from within our platform. Aliases, which is a 7th word to say that it allows you to manage different versions and different use cases. You don't only have a claims journey, you have so much more journeys in your business process that you can automate, that you can make into a conversation and streamline for your end users. More to come on that. As one of our lead engineers told me today, you ain't seen nothing yet. So we have expanded on our action library. So our actions library is actually where you can integrate with databases, but then also we have more out-of-the-box integrations that you can just go up and use. Very important, 9 out of 10 conversations will be automated, but there's still that 1 out of 10 that you still need to tailor to, and that is why we have this conversation handoff, so that in stressful situations where a user doesn't know what to do and actually does want to speak to a human very actively, you can still tailor to that. And finally, what you had seen in the very beginning, our automated dialogue composer, allowing you to go from 0 to an actual OpenDialog conversational model in just merely a few clicks. So that being said, more importantly from a customer experience, and we kind of touched on it earlier on, that is what is important. And where generative AI models currently not really support this customer experience is that, for example, research shows that humans have a very hard time to formulate what they actually want to do. Even in things like Google search, which is really well known, we're still at percentages that led to believe that actually once we're hit with a blank canvas, so to say, we struggle to actually formulate what we want and what we need. And a good thing for that is to have visual cues, and visual cues not only in the sense of like general, well-known things like carousels and so on, but things that actually make sense for the regulated businesses that we work with. And that is why for a new web chat, so the interface that end customers are seeing, we have introduced better personalization so that you can adapt it and customize it to your own branding through more advanced settings than just colors and logos. We have also introduced speech to text, as you have seen in the demo, and the uploading of files through file upload message, the e-sign, the capability to actually sign documents in chat, and complete your formalities there, and lots of other things like audio message, autocomplete to help users really formulate their questions and help them along the way, and payment as well, so that you can complete transactions and increase your revenue. But let's answer some questions.
Thanks, Micah. So we've had a few questions coming through the stream. We've probably got time for a couple of those, so I'll pull out ones that have been asked a few times by different people. The first one, I guess, on a theme is that there are other technologies out there, and some of the messaging around what they can help organisations to achieve is reasonably similar. Why OpenDialog? What's different about OpenDialog? Ron, can I maybe ask you that one?
Absolutely. So I think the thing that is most exciting about OpenDialog is right at the core of OpenDialog. It's the way that we break down what a conversational application is, its individual components, and then bring it back up together through this OpenDialog model, this conversational graph that gives you a level of flexibility that is extremely useful in every aspect of building a complex multi-step conversational application. So you have fine-grained control over where your user is in this graph, then how you're going to transition over to what the bot should say, what are the different large language models or NLU capabilities or any other reasoning capabilities that you want to plug into your model, how you're going to integrate with actions, how you're going to keep track of all this information through attributes and so on. All of that comes together in a very consistent way that enables us to build complicated conversations quickly. It enables us to keep track of information in a way that facilitates auditing, especially in regulated industries, in a really useful way. Just to give you some numbers, so there's about 200 data points that we collect on every single interaction. So you can imagine a day's worth of conversations will give you millions of data points. And those data points are richly, it's not just unstructured data or just exchanges. It's richly annotated data because it's all annotated through our conversational graph that you can then use for auditing, use for improving your applications, and so on. So yeah, it's that uniquely different way of designing conversations from the core that allows us to then build up a very rich set of capabilities that are really different.
Thanks, Ron. In terms of questions, do keep them coming. We may not have time to answer all of them, but through whatever media that you're viewing this this session, then please do ask your questions. We'll answer them after the event or on your platform of choice. One more for now, though. 9 out of 10 is a pretty lofty aspiration. That's quite transformational in terms of its impact on a business. So people looking for advice really on how do I get started. So Micah, can I come to you on that one?
Yeah, sure. So getting started is always a bit hard, right? No matter the platform, no matter what you're doing, you're kind of undergoing a change. And with change comes the apprehension of, how am I going to learn this? How am I even going to start? What is even like a good use case? Luckily for us and for you, we have been in this space for quite a bit, and we have been working with our clients and experimenting and seeing what works, what doesn't work. And we have also had loads of learnings on where best to start. Obviously, if you are very self-sufficient and you have learned everything you need to learn about conversational AI, it It's easy to get started with things like the automated dialogue composer that we have just shown, where it kind of really takes you into setting up a conversation and so on. However, we also acknowledge the fact that you might want to get started by getting a feel of what this process is, like getting a feel of what are conversations that your customers want to have, what are questions that they are actually asking. That's why we've been working with our professional services team and all of our teams here at OpenDialog at putting together initial solutions that you can implement really quickly out of the box, and we will accompany you hand by hand to discover how conversational AI can transform your interactions with your customers and make them better.
Thanks, Micah. So you talked about solutions and templates to allow people to start their journey faster. Can you perhaps give us an example of a common one that you see being deployed and why?
Yeah, sure. So one of the key solutions that helps our customers start their conversational journey is our concierge bot. This concierge bot is deployed onto contact center, telephony solutions, but then helps deflect the traffic and the customers from that solution onto a conversational application that then can tailor and guide them towards where they actually need to be, rather than waiting for a long time to get in touch with someone and then spend again a lot of people's time to actually get something done that could have been done quickly by just guiding them to the right place, the right information.
Fantastic. Thanks, Micah. Probably just one more we've got time for them, which I'll have a go at. And that is, with all this change, all this technological change that's happening, shouldn't I just wait and see what manifests itself over the next few months and years rather than do something now? And my response to that would be those that wait will get left behind. Ron's already talked about that. Those that do nothing will get left behind. One of the advantages of OpenDialog is that, unlike other solutions that leverage generative AI, it wasn't built on top of OpenAI's model or Anthropic's model or anybody else's, like many solutions have been, where organizations have picked a model and then built an application on top of it. OpenDialog was built as an independent application, completely independent of the language model that it leverages. So it can use the legacy NLU models, it can use custom language models, it can use OpenAI, it can use Hugging Face, it can use Anthropic, it can use any of these technologies, including ones that haven't yet been invented. So an investment in OpenDialog is a future-proofing investment in a conversational engine that is ready to absorb the latest technology when it emerges. So I'll close, I guess, with the same question I asked earlier, which is, are you ready? Okay, so that's a wrap. Thank you, Micah. Thank you, Ron. Thanks to the team for supporting this session. And thanks to all of those that attended live and are watching the recording. If you would like to know more about OpenDialog, please do get in touch. The website is www.opendialog.ai. Get in touch and we would love to talk to you about your specific needs, to show you some tailored and customized demonstrations, and to help you start your journey. Thanks very much.